as a mallard awaits the opening day of duck hunting season. Out of the bag of assorted misgivings I had about being introduced to her, I pulled my question to Frank that morning. "Why do you want me to meet your mother?" "Don't you want to meet her?" "Of course I do," I said. Some might say I lied when I said that, but what I meant was, someday I wanted to know his mother and have the meeting part all over and done with. He'd put the paper aside now and was studying me. Frank is unfortunately very good at this, and I can seldom hide my feelings from him. Those gray-green eyes were alive with amusement now. "She'll like you," he said, once again proving his knack for getting to the core of things. I suppose it's a good skill to have in his line of work. "How do you know she'll like me?" "I know." "Frank, I am so comforted by that." "Too early to be snide, Irene." "Too early to think about meeting your mother." "You're right. I'm afraid she won't like me." "I like you. She'll like you when she sees how much I like you." "For a cop, you have a very optimistic outlook on life." He shook his head. "I thought you'd be happy about it." "It's nice for you to invite me. I'm flattered. But for starters, why don't you see if your mom wants another mouth to feed on Thanksgiving? She may just want to be with her family." "She won't mind," he said. More optimism. He stood up, taking the breakfast dishes with him. Concerned that I had insulted him with my lack of enthusiasm, I got up from the table and went over to him as he reached the sink. I stood behind him and wrapped my arms around him. He's so tall. This put my head somewhere between his shoulder blades. He set the breakfast dishes in the sink and turned around to face me. "You worry about the damnedest things, Irene. But I'll call and ask her today. Want to get together for dinner?" "Sure, but it's Halloween. Do you get many kids trick-or-treating over here?" Frank lives near the beach, and I hadn't seen many young families in his neighborhood. "No, not really. Just 2 or 3 families with kids on this block. I'm not often home from work in time to give them anything, so Mrs. Fremont usually hands out treats for me." Mrs. Fremont, his next-door neighbor, was about 80 years old. She had lived in that house for most of those years. Mr. Fremont had gone to his reward long ago, and while she still talked with fondness about their marriage, she seemed quite content with her life alone. She lived simply, but was actually very well-to-do. The ocean air must have been good for her, because you would never have guessed her to be over 60. She was a real live wire. "How about coming over to my place after you get off work?" I asked. "I don't have a Mrs. Fremont, so I'll be on candy duty." "Okay. I'll take you out for a late dinner." "You've got a deal." I looked at my watch. "You're going to be late, Frank. Want me to take the stuff over to Mrs. Fremont for you?" "That would be great." He walked over to the freezer and pulled out a bag of miniature Snickers. "Frozen?" I asked. "It's the only way I can keep myself from powering down a bag of them myself. It's been driving me nuts just knowing they're in the house. They'll thaw by tonight." "Why, Frank Harriman, I never would have thought of you as a man with a sweet tooth." He leaned over and kissed me goodbye, saying, "I don't know why not," and scrambled out the door. Thinking about my own need to get to work, I made sure his house was locked up and then gathered my purse and overnight bag. Nabbing the cold bag of Snickers as well, I fumbled my way out of the house, then set the deadbolt. Frank had let me park my old '71 ragtop Carmen Ghia in the driveway the night before, and as I was stuffing my overnight bag into the trunk, I saw Mrs. Fremont returning from her morning jog. "Good morning, Irene," she called. "When are you going to come running with me again?" I smiled at her, remembering my surprise the first time I heard this proposal. We had gone running together several times since, and I found I didn't have to make concessions to her pace. "Soon, I hope. I haven't been able to do much running this week." All that